Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Total War Pharaohs, the next installment in the Total War franchise. In today's video, we're going to be diving in and starting a brand new series with the goal of going ahead and giving you the best possible idea about everything that Total War Pharaohs does have to offer, the good, the bad, and of course the ugly. I basically want to be as transparent as possible whilst playing, telling you stuff I like and stuff I dislike. I can't, as of this point, due to the embargoes, give you guys a full-on review, as I think that's much closer to release, which is earlier next month. I think it's October the 13th. And as we get closer to that, I'll be able to go ahead and actually give you a full-on review on the game. But as of right now, I can definitely still play through and tell you guys stuff I like and stuff I dislike. And there is, a whole heap of both. So yeah, let's just dive in and start the campaign. And as I said, I want to go ahead and give you guys as much information as possible so you can make your own decision, your own informed decision on the game itself. And one of the leaders I really wanted to explore in this series, as I believe we can play, as of this embargo, up to 4 different lords. There's a couple Hittites, so you'll be able to see reviews on them, or I guess first looks at them over on other people's channels. But I really wanted to dive into Tazret right here. She has a pretty interesting gameplay mechanic and definitely starts in a good position in the midst of the Nile. She can kind of go north more into the kind of Pharaoh lands and also deal with stuff to the south. There's lots of rich resources. She's got kind of this puppeteering, which really works well with the new council system. So I think she just has like a kind of a very, very unique and interesting start for one of the Egyptian lords. Some of her actual faction buildings are really interesting as well. She is heavily focused around kind of manipulating people and also manipulating the economy. Every one of her buildings goes ahead and helps to boost the production of all resources in a province as well as a specific one as well. So you can really go ahead and utilize this resource system in a very interesting way. On top of that, some of her faction specific units, she gets a lot of chariots. So every single lord that you'll be going and playing as will have their own faction buildings and also their own faction units. And as you can see, the difference between Ramesses and Milady is that, yeah, she gets access to a lot more chariots, a lot more skirmishing capabilities. Her line isn't going to be as strong, but she has a lot of very, very, very good missiles, which is great because in the more modern Total War games like Warhammer, Pharaohs, Troy, missiles are absolute king. Same with Total War 3 Kingdoms, and it doesn't change in Total War Pharaohs whatsoever. Personally, not a big fan of that. I much prefer the heavier infantry kind of builds where you are just like clashing in these big brawls. But, this is how the gameplay does work. And yeah, focusing in on melee and you getting a lord that does go ahead and focus on that is always going to help you out. Great thing that they actually did add in Total War Pharaohs is definitely this customizable campaign options. You can basically go through here and adjust pretty much anything you want, which is actually really nice. You can go ahead and give the AI more replenishment or even less replenishment if you think they're kind of taking the mick a little bit. You can change the day and night cycle, which is always nice. I like to go on a bit of a slower day cycle. You can also just set it or even set it to real time, which is always quite cool. But yeah, you can basically change in a lot of these campaign features, which is great. It's a great way to kind of spice up a campaign and adjust and play the campaign the way that you want to. So now we've got all of that set up, let's just go dive in and get the campaign started.
I am Meneptah. No, I am the great Pharaoh Meneptah. 10 years ago, I inherited the throne in the shadow of my father. The strong bull, the protector of Egypt, the chosen of Ra and beloved of Amun. the mighty Pharaoh, Ramses the Second. Egypt has flourished throughout my reign, but now I sense the eyes of Set upon me, and dark times are coming. What will happen to my kingdom after my soul slips into the eternal lands of the afterlife? A capable wife has been the boon of any great pharaoh, and there has been no pharaoh greater than my father. He accrued many brides, yet in wisdom and competence, not one of them was the equal of Seti's wife, Tausret. Seti is an exemplary warrior, yet the subtleties of governance continue to elude him. Tausret, however, knows when to use diplomacy with her neighbors, and when to stamp out potential rebels. I do not doubt that under her guiding hand, our empire will extend its grip towards the hidden riches in the deserts. She rules over the Nile's first cataract most capably, ushering peace into southern Egypt, once consumed by rebellion. However, should the fortunes of our kingdom begin to wane and my chosen heir Seti fails to lead our people, she would not hesitate to snatch the crown from the hands of the unworthy.
Okay, so here we are again. We get a nice little faction summary as we begin. We get a look at like kind of some of our bonuses, some of our negatives. We have obviously really good chariots. We have really good range. Our commands, which is something we're gonna get onto like basically all of this as we progress through. We definitely do also interact with the court a lot more as well. We can kind of switch up plots and do some pretty crazy stuff. That's gonna be where our real strength lies. We also don't do great with happiness, but we're gonna get so many bonuses that it doesn't really matter. So let's just dive in and get this started. This is Total War Pharaohs, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to explore it, basically see the good, the bad, and of course the ugly. And this is also a faction leader I haven't actually messed around with yet, so again we'll be able to see some of the other different unique stuff compared to say more my Ramesses playthrough that I did the previous couple weeks ago, I think it was.
I will guide
so yeah, our army
doesn't
look great. Egyptian peasants, 180 men in the unit, is a little bit shaky. We start off with what, just one? No, we start off with 2 settlements, right, and then we have to collect up this one, which is normally always a given, and it's pretty well defensible, honestly, up in the mountainside of the Egyptian coastline, which is always nice. Take a look at our settlement. So our capital is down here in the south. Do we have so we have summer festival halls, which is always good. Our happiness is slowly going up, and you do get some pretty good growth bonuses. growth has completely changed in Total War Pharaohs and is now tied to basically your workforce. You spend workforce to go ahead and build buildings, recruit units, and so on and so on. Same with the culture. Culture has now changed to basically influence, which is actually a mechanic I really like, and a mechanic I would love to see in a co-op campaign where you both play as the same faction, like Skippy Eye, Brutey Eye. Anyway, I digress, but a man can dream. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we have our workforce, which is basically just our growth modifier, which we spend to build units and obviously upgrade buildings. We have our fishing port, we have our lumber port. Again, the thing is, like, I feel like your wood income is so bad. Like, these buildings give you such little improvements. It's actually embarrassing. This is one thing I brought up in my Ramses when we were playing that, is like I'm spending a lot of resources to upgrade these buildings, and it's just so marginal what you get back. Like, to upgrade this is what, 350 stone. Stone is a pretty valuable resource because there's certain buildings that require it and you really need to focus in on it. And I'm getting an extra 10 wood a turn. And I'm spending like, it's just, yeah, they really need to go in and take a look at that. They really do. However, we will just dive in and kick off with a battle. Before we do that, though, we are going to head over to this outpost, and we're going to go ahead and gain a nice little bonus. So outposts are a new mechanic in the game that they've recently added in Total War Pharaohs, which are basically, you can build a set of different ones which allow you to build military outposts. Again, they each do different things. You can do administration, you can do economic, and you can do religious. Each of these will give you a different boom when you go and visit them. For me personally, I find them a bit gimmicky. I feel like they could have been done a lot better. But you know, it is what it is, and it is kind of an interesting mechanic, I would say, to say the least, to add into the game, and definitely something interesting that they could take further forward in a future Total War game. So this is the tech tree for Total War Pharaohs. Again, this is another thing that I really just don't get on with. I think it's a very, very boring and messy tech tree. Like, the bonuses you're getting is like, oh, you're getting 10% of this, you're getting a recruitment rank, you're getting a little bit more influence. Like, there's nothing here that is remotely interesting or something to work towards, or, you know, like, great, I've got an extra 15% from battles. Oh, look, I've got an extra 10% ammunition. Like, none of this stuff is very interesting at all. Like, I'm just hovering over all of it, and I haven't found a single thing that I'm like, oh yeah, that's the sickest thing ever. It just seems like a very underwhelming and not very interesting part of the game, which is a shame because, again, there was a lot of very, very exciting, like, Total War tech trees have always been really cool. From Rome 2, where you're expanding and improving your army, reforming it, getting new units, like, that's really awesome. Total War Attila, you're trying to stem the bleed of corruption and improve sanitation to help prosper your cities. Even in Total War 3 Kingdoms, I think Total War 3 Kingdoms actually had a really good tech tree, with the way you evolve it, and there were interesting ways to unlock new units and stuff. And this just doesn't have it. This just does not have that at all. Like, again, it's just very boring, and I do not like the Royal Decree setup whatsoever. Again, I'm just being completely honest with my feelings and opinions on it, which is always interesting. The nice thing is, though, we do have the Colossus of Memnon, which is really nice, actually. Because if we interact with that, we gain a big boost to our legitimacy, and also with our morale as well. Luckily, though, we are just going to push on the enemy. This should be a pretty easy battle. It's a 10v, yeah, a 10v, 8 units. We should be able to win this one. This will be our first major battle. We'll drag the garrison out and just try and dominate it. Before we do that, though, we will go ahead and take a look at our character sheet, and this is going to be Tazret right here. We have our sniping bow, which is good, and one of the cool things you can do if for example, I was to give her a sword and shield, her bodyguard would also change from a chariot to a bodyguard, which is very cool. Kind of from a chariot, sorry, from like a sword and shield melee, or would be sword and shield on chariots, which is kind of an interesting thing to go about. We did also just gain a nice little boost there, and then we obviously have her armor as well. And this does change as well physically. I think if we give her different armor, that will change. You can give them different crowns later on, that will change. And that's something I do actually quite like. I like the fact that you can really go ahead and kind of customize your character a bit more. It's a nice amount of detail. We also have leveled up a little bit here, so there are 3 things we can level up, and each of them do give you bonuses. Like, this is upkeep and influence in the region, so it's more of like an administrator build, which is pretty nice, honestly. This is much more of a kind of replenishment and like fighting capability, and then the bottom one is all about charging into your enemy and movement speed. I think, honestly, grabbing up these 5 pointers are always not a bad idea. The 10% replenishment is always good. So I think that's what we're going to work towards right there. And she already is, like, spec'd into it. And we're, of course, going to grab this one as well. It's unique to this character, and it's basically a tier 1 medal. You can unlock these as you progress through the game, and they'll give you more bonuses. There's some that are more unique to, like, a specific character, and then there are others that just kind of everybody gets access to. But the extra battle loot is always nice, going to help us kind of keep our economy rolling. So let's dive in. Let's smash this army, and then take the next settlement. Okay, so let's dive into this battle. As you can see, weather has now been added into it. We basically get a whole range of evolving weathers as the game does progress. They range from like heavy sandstorms, which we're getting in this battle, which can be pretty negative for our forces, to heavy rain, to light rain, to fog, etc. And this will transform a lot of the battlefields as well. Sometimes kind of dry ground will go into mud, and that will slow down and wear out heavy infantry. So it's kind of a cool mechanic. It doesn't really play a massive factor into the battle, I find, but it's still cool kind of nonetheless to have that. So I'm definitely, you know, interested in seeing kind of that develop a little bit more. In this battle, we have basically no infantry. We have peasant infantry. It's not going to stand. It's not going to do much whatsoever. So we're going to basically have to utilize our chariots to harass the enemy, whittle them down, get them out of position, and then kill them. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So let's throw up our chariots as quickly as possible. Also going to throw up my archers as well. And we need to basically pin down their missiles and whittle them down. We could try and just throw our infantry forward as well and pin all of this down and just try and break it. Honestly, not a bad idea. You can see our chariots do provide us with some pretty good range right off the bat. I think obviously going after that general immediately is going to be a good idea. Killing their missiles is also going to be a great idea. So what I might do is I might send one in there. Our archers can maybe start shooting that. Our archers here can start hitting them. I don't really know why you're going so close. Let's turn around and get out of there. Chariot-wise, I haven't really noticed chariots. Like, they're definitely not as OP as they were in Troy, for sure. I kind of find them a bit underwhelming. They kind of do get stuck a lot of the time and require constant micro to really utilize them, which I guess is fine. Like, it makes sense, right, that chariots, you know, do get stuck, and that's kind of their downfall, for sure. But also at the same time, like, I feel like sometimes they do just kind of get a bit stuck like this. Like, this is one thing as well that I really dislike about Pharaohs, is units get clipped and then they just immediately, like, get stuck in. This unit will never stop pursuing them, and it's really frustrating. Especially, like, my biggest complaint about Pharaoh battles is this is the battle size. I'm going left and right now. This is the size of the battle from here to here. And I have a very small army. I have like half the size of an army that you just have in an average battle, 20 units, let alone 40. And this is the battle map. Like, why are the battle maps so small? Like, obviously, it's to force you down to dive into the enemy, engage them, and the AI can just go forward. It helps the AI out. You have quicker battles because there's no tactics involved. You're just heading into the enemy. It's so bad. Like, give us bigger battlefields. Why are these battlefields? This is the battlefield. They're here. And you can't even go up here because there's a massive rock up here. So you can't even utilize the terrain. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand why they made the battles so... Well, I understand why they made the battles so small. I think it's a very, very, like, kind of silly decision to why they did that. So we can come in here. We can hit both these archers with our chariots. I might kind of push up here and try and just, like, hit them. So yeah, you guys both go in there. These archers need to be running because they're going to be a very valuable unit. You guys keep harassing that. And you know, we should be able to kill their slingers here pretty effectively as the chariots come smashing in there. They do a pretty good job at running them through. Make sure that we constantly keep going in. Oh god, I should probably put one of these on skirmish mode. And we're going to charge him there, I guess. Again, you guys need to go out of there. And we're kind of breaking through this, about to hit this unit from the back with other units reinforcing. So then you guys turn around. Come on, charge him, please. Charge him with our general. You guys fall back now. And we should be able to surround this unit now with our infantry. Get our archers behind them. Hammer and amble into the back of this unit's swords, who are going to be doing a much better job. Keep their general on a wild goose chase there, which I like. I do want to make sure my archers can shoot them in the back, though, so let's make sure we leave a little bit of terrain there. We managed to break this unit as well. But we need our chariots, of course, to keep on moving. So this is very much a skirmisher army, for sure. You just need to make sure you keep moving. We're going to keep on going here as well. And the chariots against light infantry, you know, will do a decent job as long as there's no support in there. Like, we ripped through there. We did some good damage. Why are we stuck, though? I gave the order to move. There's no unit there. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, chariots, like, they shouldn't have got stuck there. They're not fighting anything of value. We'll give these guys a good little volley here as well. Oh, they're arching their shots. That's a bit annoying. That's going to be a bit of friendly fire. Right here as well, you'll get some nice little close-ups of the battle. Our peasants doing a good job, which I will definitely take. Nice, these guys managed to get out of there. My peasants are going to be probably pretty much surrounded. Again, the AI not really doing something good, sending their general away from the army to chase a unit of chariots. It's kind of the same, though, as previous AI units, though. So I guess we will move our archers around to deal with that. The unit of peasants can just hold whilst we kind of harass the rest of their missiles. Gave you guys an order to chase them. Can you chase them, please? Yeah, like, the combat just doesn't... It's not as bad as Troy, I'll definitely say that. Like, it definitely does feel a lot better than the Troy combat. But units still kind of get stuck and very, like... Yeah, it doesn't feel like as smooth as maybe previous titles. AI isn't interested either in running into my archers, or are they? Are they going to charge them? Yeah, they are. Okay, they fooled me. They fooled me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's keep on falling back here. We're going to probably have to commit a unit general here. I want to try and skirmish them down just a little bit more, if I can help it. I mean, these guys, again, I did give these guys the order as well to move out from these archers, and they didn't do that, so let's try and set that up. The archers are now hit again, which is kind of bad. We need the archers out there. And we're just going to utilize our forces, right? Just to, again, continue to harass them. Unit, for some reason, has stopped charging after this unit of infantry as well. Don't really know why. They had the order to. They were fighting them and catching them and then just decided to stop. Okay. I guess we'll bring them back. Maybe I did click them to not do that. Don't think I did, though. Yeah, we're just going to utilize our soldiers. Again, the archers, again, just getting stuck. Like, I feel like just either kill them or just... I don't know. Just feels a bit weird. Just feels a bit weird. Maybe I'm just being over picky, though, with it. The battle length isn't bad, considering we are skirmishing, though. But like, we're going to get to about a 10-minute battle for a small engagement like that. Oh, my God, that unit came back. That's stupid. I don't like that at all. Like, we'd chased them, we'd slaughtered them, and now they're like, yeah, actually, no, we will come back. Like, what more can I do? What more can I do? We did end up... So let's go ahead and turn our general around here to help out there. My peasant spears are doing, you know, what they're there to do, die, basically. Send in another unit of these spears to basically just keep the enemy pinned in place, and we'll utilize our chariots to keep on hitting them with missiles. As that previous unit runs, then obviously we will get ready to hit them, I think. As long as we can pin them all down, we should be, yeah, we've got that unit routing now, so form up, please. Archers are hitting them. And we're just utilizing this commander very, very well. Again, I get some close-ups of the battle. So the battles definitely are better than they were. A lot of the time, you know, you do get some matched combat in there, and not as much as I would personally like. I would like to see way more matched combat. The units generally do hit each other. They do kind of defend. You can see matched combat right there in the center, which is always nice. Again, as I said, I would like to see more of that stuff. But it is better. Again, there are still some stupid, like, kind of combat. It's not perfect, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. And we should have the enemy beaten here. We're just going to charge him there from every side with our chariots. I might send a unit of chariots as well around here. Oh, God, sorry. The shift key as well zooms you. We'll go in there as well. And that should kind of finish off the battle, which is nice. Like, it's a fun way to play a battle as well. And that's something as well I will give. Is, you know, this battle kind of faction is very different to the previous one that we played. Playing as Ramesses, the battles were pretty much just infantry push forward, and that was it. And this was much more of a different, like, kind of skirmisher playstyle, which was fun. I like it. It was a decent kind of playstyle overall, but there were definitely parts of the battle which I mentioned, which kind of I would like to see a bit different, honestly. I think we're gonna get enough. I don't really get enough movement after the battle to still take the city, but we might. Yeah, he's gonna run, so we can actually kill him.
My learning deepens.
Which is a little bit annoying. And then we do still have enough to take the city, which is good. He is alive, but we can just auto-resolve this one without losing any units. It will tell me again if units are going to be destroyed, which is nice, but because we defeated them so heavily. And this is good. We keep both the armies. Turn 1, the settlement's taken. We'll definitely utilize that. So we do have the option to sack, raise, loot, or just occupy. I think we will just occupy the settlement. No need to do anything out of the ordinary with it. And we will take the settlement and, of course, repair it immediately. There is also, as well, no requirement whatsoever for buildings. I can go ahead and unlock all 4 of these building slots immediately if I want to. If I have the workforce for it, that's what I can do, which is kind of nice. I like that. I like the idea that you can just build up a settlement. We're immediately get this stone quarry. Stone is one of the most valuable resources in the entire game, so we're going to grab that right away. and utilize that to our advantage. We also have a little bit more workforce left, so I think what we'll do is we'll definitely recruit. Definitely more archers. Archers are very strong. Yeah, I think we just continue on with this build of just like archers. Yeah, archers. So we are getting local recruitment. So sorry, native recruitment, which is basically the recruitment of the native area. We do have a muster ground. We do have a tier 2 muster ground, which should be providing us with some units, I think. Again, I really dislike this. Yeah, it should give us upper Egyptian spearmen and javelins. So I wonder why we can't recruit them. Maybe because we just took the city and this is destroyed. Most likely is the case. We'll be able to see next turn, I guess, when we have repaired it. So what else did we get? We also got some of these extra points. There's not a single one here. Yeah, there's not a single one here. Okay, well, getting a religious one would be pretty good. It takes 2 turns to build, and we're probably going to be past it already. So let's grab up. We already have the economic buff from this. So let's probably grab the Shrine to Ice. I'm just going to call it Ice as well. I don't want to say it in case YouTube demonetizes me for whatever reason. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube is weird. And we'll start getting some Favor as well. Favor is really powerful when we unlock deities, and we will do that very, very soon. Something I actually didn't look at last turn either was diplomacy. I just completely forgot. So we do start off allied with our husband, Seti, who is the future kind of heir to the Pharaoh. And of course, we're obviously going to betray him, confederate him, kind of take it over. But is there anything else we need to kind of do down here again? Because there's no like generic trade agreements anymore. I guess we don't need to really worry about it. I mean, getting alliances down to the south, or like non-aggressions to the south, might not be a bad idea. So let's take a look at the map really quickly, I think. Okay, so I've managed to secure a non-aggression to the south of me, just for a little bit of money, which is pretty nice. We'll go ahead and propose that. And I also probably want to also grab up a non-aggression with this guy as well, because that'll basically secure our entire southern border, and we can just focus on going north and conquering people over there. Okay, so this is actually pretty expensive, and I probably wouldn't do this out of the ordinary, but again, it'll just be nice to have that. We did spend a lot of our very valuable resources, our wood, our bronze, but again, not really the end of the world, I don't think. So I'm definitely going to grab up the house right here to give it a little bit more public order. Again, a lot of our buildings do reduce that, so as we progress through this, we're going to want to make sure that our happiness is up there, and this is going to be our main region as well, so utilizing the extra growth is always going to be nice. So we'll build that. Again, we don't really have too much other resources, considering we did spend a lot of them. Our main goal is just to simply push forward, and look at the movement range as well. You do get some absolutely ridiculous movement ranges. Oh, we are actually going to take attrition if we go off the road, which is, again, very different compared to what I was doing with Ramesses, which is fine. So we're going to go to the border, I think, and then we're going to recruit, and then we're going to obviously head in next turn. So, yeah, we're going to probably just grab, like, some really cheap dudes. You can see that the upkeep is just food on these guys. The more elite units is food and bronze, which is actually a mechanic I really do like. I like how the upkeep is tied to food, because you can much easier, much easier manipulate that than, say, just gold like it was in previous Total War games. You can trade for stuff like that very easily to have and sustain bigger armies. And I always felt like previous games like Warhammer, even Three Kingdoms and Total War Attila, you were really restricted on the type of units and the amount of armies you could have for no real reason. Something else to keep an eye on as well as we progress to the next turn is this right here. Every, I guess, rotation, I think is what they call it in the game, there are 6 turns, and these are basically like the seasons. So, for example, we have a flood season, which is giving us more movement on sea, which is pretty decent even for us, because we can utilize the Nile to transfer and maneuver troops up to the north. It also gives us tons more food, and then we progress forward. We're right now into the Perit, which is the growth season, which is cheaper recruitment, and then finally we go into the harvest season, which is replenishment and food. And the cool thing is this does tie in as we progress through the game with the devastation of the Bronze Age. So these will be developing alongside that mechanic. And again, we haven't unlocked it quite yet, but it's still kind of a cool feature, and something I'm a big fan of as well. Something to mention as well is you can raid these as well if you want to. You can raid all these outer buildings. A lot of the time you don't need to. There are definitely some cool ones as well where you can actually like build forts and stuff, which support the main city if you give them units. However, again, it's a bit weird because I feel like you should be able, you have to actually transfer units manually to the forts, which I feel like you should be able to just recruit them there directly, which is nice. On top of that, like, they don't really provide any debuffs to the attackers. if they don't go for the fort. They can just completely ignore it. And I feel like you should get like attrition maybe if you don't take out the fort first. It's like they're raiding your supply lines as you siege your main city or something. You know, like I feel like there's something slightly missing there with the forts. It's a really cool mechanic, but yeah, just not quite fully seen through, if that makes sense. Okay, this is starting to make a lot more sense as well. When I was playing as Ramesses, when we were dueling for command of the court, and she was beating me so much, because she has the Valley of the Kings, and obviously also this one as well. The no, that's just my Statue of Isis. Where's her other one? Right here. Yeah, right here, the Mausoleum, which gives her mad legitimacy. So yeah, she definitely does have some good boons to actually make her way to being Pharaoh and winning the Civil War. We also get a gold mine here as well. Yeah, her settlement here is a gold mine. Man, she has one of the best starts. Like, how does she... Like, she's considered as medium difficulty, I think. She has stone, which is super valuable gold. I guess she doesn't have bronze, so that's what she struggles with, and her army is more skirmish-orientated. But, like, we're going to, like, immediately probably come down into the north now, conquer this. There's... Also, so yeah, we have another, Temple of Anubis right there. There's more legitimacy. And there's another one up here as well. And then we also have this. Yeah, oh my god, she's going to... Yeah, okay, this is very, very strong. We can also apply an edict now as well. There are several. Again, not really anything too special. Like, this one's pretty good. Movement speed of armies plus 20%, but you lose a bit more food in the entire province, which I guess isn't like that bad, but the happiness is really good. Definitely a big fan of that. But yeah, there's nothing really like outstandish here. I guess I normally just go with the organized festivals. It's a bit of happiness, and the debuff is like whatever, who cares about 10% more extra cost on your settlements. We're going to repair up, and I've also made this settlement into just a food monster. This is like an ultimate producing settlement, which is definitely why we should make sure we have, yeah, definitely want this one here. We can't build 2 economic outposts either. No, we can't. Yeah, can't build that. We actually have no stone to build any of this anyway, which is fine. Oh, nice as well. Okay, so we built our upgraded barracks now. So we actually get some upper Egyptian swordsmen and spearmen. These are actually pretty decent. Like, they're not bad. They are going to start costing us upkeep of bronze, which is fine. I'm going to grab spearmen, because one thing I will give props to is that, like, heavy spearmen do feel very defensive. Like, I've played them before. We're going to build a fort here as well, by the way. It's like I've played them before, and it does feel very, like... They take ages to kill, and when battles are generally really, like, relatively fast in Pharaohs compared to, say, Rome Total War, it feels nice to have a unit I can just plonk in the center of my line and be like, okay, you hold whilst I do all these shenanigans around the flank, which is cool. I like that. I like that there are some units, at least I prefer all heavy infantry to be able to do it, but there are some units designed just to be defensive and they feel it. Yeah, so we have two choices. We can build an Egyptian fort that will give us cheaper units stationed there. It will allow us to exchange armies in there. I feel like we should be able to simply just recruit armies there, you know. I think, oh, we do that. Oh, that's kind of cool. And it just, what does that? Or does it save it? No, it doesn't save it. I don't know what the pin's for then. I guess if you want to, like, compare it. No, that doesn't even work. Yeah, I don't know what that's for. But yeah, so I think you should be able to recruit units to these forts, honestly, to build up an extra garrison. There'll be a general there helping to defend, and then also it will reduce our movement speed when we kind of move through it, which again is really OP. It allows us to get up here very quickly. So let's grab that, which would be very nice. And then, yeah, I guess we're going to build up our army, and then we're just going to push on and just constantly keep going to war, I guess. Next, we have our ambition. Okay, cool. This is cool. So this is basically like mini missions that you get given by the game to go ahead and complete. One thing I will say is it's still so stupid that in 2023, I can't minimize this. I have no idea if I'm close to conquering a region with stone or a region with food or, you know, whatever. Like, why can't I minimize this, take a look at my surroundings, and then pick one? That should just be in the game, like, as a standard for any strategy game that's giving you options to make. I should be able to pick this and then take a look around the map and be like, oh yeah, I am actually close to taking a region with stone, rather than trying to remember when I didn't even know I had to remember. It's a bit silly, and something that I would like to see changed at some point, whether it's this Total War or the next. So definitely grab the Let Your Arrows Fly. So we need to recruit 10 units of missiles in our army. That shouldn't be too difficult to do as we progress further forward. We currently have 5. We're going to move up to the border here. Oh, we take attrition. Do we take attrition all the way here? Wow, okay. Okay, wow. That's pretty brutal. So if we take attrition, do we then... Yeah, we just go across the desert. We'd be able to get there next turn, though, if we fully went for it. Is there any way to reduce attrition, I wonder? Like, if we go into encampment, that would immune to attrition, right? But I think we take attrition regardless. And how much movement do we need to actually go into it?
Guide Egypt.
50%. So we could get to like here.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, go to here. When do we take attrition, but then we replenish? So yeah, we have... Yeah, and we replenish, and that's fine. We can also recruit as well, which is what we want to do. Let's grab some more missiles. Yeah, we'll grab some more archers in the army. Again, we are going into our deficit of food, but that's fine. We can wheel and deal for it, which is no worries. And we're going to be here, what, in like 2 turns maybe? Yeah, I think 2 turns we'll be able to make our march and declare war on these guys. This could actually be fine. Our our husband is offering us for our wood, which we're making 108. So we'll basically be bankrupt on wood, but that's sort out our food and iron deficits, basically, or bronze deficits. I'll take that. You never really want to be in a big hole when it comes to it, and that's kind of cool. I like how the AI is kind of seeing we're negative and stuff and offering that for stuff they're negative in. And here we go. Okay, boom. We've unlocked some brand new mechanics in the game. And again, this is a feature I do quite like about the game, is it does slowly drip feed you these mechanics and progresses more and more. So because we've done our first rotation and we're into the final one, we now unlock local deities. We are in support of Is right here. They give us really good happiness bonuses and work growth. Don't really know why. Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. So if we pray to them, we'd actually get immune to desert attrition. That's really good if we hit tier 2, which we're not quite there yet. We're closing in. And then if we devote our general, we gain influence, melee defense, and morale, which is pretty basic. You know, we just improve it if we reach tier 2. Okay, I mean, that's easy to do. We just build more shrines. I like that. You can also support multiple as well. So I think we also have, yeah, you can see a bunch of the other ones as well as you progress through. I think there's Hittite ones as well that you can also support. So that's kind of cool. We also haven't unlocked Royal Court, but we have got the Pillars of Civilization. And as the prosperity of the world does slowly decrease, you will be seeing the prosperity go into crisis and then collapse. And that will have negative effects rather on the kind of campaign effects here, and also on events and earthquakes and, you know, all these negative stuff that will kind of really start to apply to your campaign. Okay, I think we make our move now, declare war on this guy to the north of us. He's strength rank 20, we're strength rate 8, so that shouldn't be too difficult. We just go in. It'd be funny if Seti also comes in on us as well. I mean, he could attack from the north and help relieve some issues. So let's do that. Let's just declare war. He joined me as well. Of course, he did like a loyal husband. He came in and supported us. We can see their army in the north. We can definitely do this and get down there. A little bit of attrition. Well, that's fine. We're out of the desert now. Unfortunately, we can't like hit the settlement this turn. And then they could probably get to me. If they go to some of these trade posts, they could probably easily get to me. And they are recruiting as well. So that'll be a 20-stack army. If they want to attack me, they have to come quite a long way. And we do have a fort here as well. No, that's just yeah. So we might have to look to building another general as well. Maybe. Let's definitely upgrade our food production by that's an extra 50 food. Woohoo! So bad. Why there should be more? It should be like double at least. At least. Luckily as well, our non-aggressions to the south here have really supported us. This guy's actually being taken out. We have to worry about maybe this guy.
How can we
like make it work? What do you want? A region. I don't think I'm going to give you a region. Okay, another lord is offering me a pretty good deal. Oh, it's not a good deal at all. It's actually an awful deal. I don't want to lose my stone. Stone is, as I said, so valuable. Stone and gold you want to keep. Gold's a bit easier to get by because when we unlock for court momentarily, we're going to be able to utilize that quite nicely. We're also, whilst we're here, we might as well, there's no reason really not to, is we might as well devote our, can't quite, I mean, hit tier 2 first. We might as well devote her to us right away. There's like no reason not to. Okay, so they are on their way. If I was to ambush, out of interest, what would be our percentage chance?
Tactic.
Does it say? Normally, I thought it said. I thought it should say. I don't know. Guess not. Ambushing them might not be a bad idea as they come over here. Again, a very easy battle. We can just take the settlement. No need to fight it whatsoever. System, though, does also provide some pretty interesting engagements as well. I will say, because it does encourage more minor settlement battles, which is quite cool. Because generally, with the fort system, you're going to have a much larger, force on in the city defending it. So I kind of like that. I do like that. Level up again. We're going to go ahead and grab up the level 5, so we're upkeep and a bit more influence, which will help keep the city under our control. We are currently working, I mean, this would be really good, right? Ammunition and speed for so ammunition is for our entire army, and speed for chariots is going to be really good. So I might just try and grab 666 and everything. That's tier 3 though. Tier 4, I think I want to do this one, but our chariots scare horses. Oh no, it's infantry. It's Tazret's roster, so our infantry scares horses. That could be pretty good. We could also work towards the chariots to give stronger vigor, but I feel like vigor is whatever, like, doesn't really go down in this. Rapid, oh, that would be really nice. Rapid fire on the general for missile chariots, reload time, for rest range. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. Again, the workforce growth is just nice. The line of sight is whatever. Aura size isn't bad. Yeah, I think getting the chariots to tier 3 is going to be good. Got a new bow as well. So this grants snipe, which is the unit can remain hidden. Really feel like that's, who cares? Like, I'd rather just the better bow. So we're going to grab the Magi bow, and that's going to give us reload speed. Does it change our garrison at all? No, they're still both light. But if I change this bow, we'd still be a light. Oh, because this is a missile chariot. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, we'll go with a Magi bow. I'd rather be able to just shoot whilst moving, which we can obviously already do because we're a chariot, but also have a reload speed. Being able to get more shots off from the enemy, it's going to be way, way better. We've also got a cool position here as well. We're going to go build a fort out here, I think. I think building a fort against whatever's to our west is going to be a smart idea. Seems like there's probably quite a few lords that might look to attack us and push in this way. So we'll build a fort there and probably go try to dump off some units to do so. The army's replenishing, which is nice, and we can make our way down south probably next turn. Not a bad idea as well to recruit some more missile units as well. This is a missile unit, right? It's a sling. Yeah, it should still count because, of course, we still have our edict, our ambition. We have 7, so we need basically 1 more after this, and we'll get 5 units of auxiliary unit sharpshooters we can just recruit specifically through special recruitment, which is like an elite archery units. I mean, why not? Okay, so let's try something a little bit funny. First things first, we have to make sure that we build up in mess, which is over here. We want to make sure that we build up our gold mine immediately. His army has appeared there. We still take attrition, but we can actually get pretty far here. Next turn, he can attack us and siege us. If I was to force march back home, I can get to like here, but we would take attrition. Do I care? I mean, we of course can't let him just roam around our army. We do have a fort here, which is nice. But there's no units in there, so the garrison's going to be, what, 7 units? 7, yes. 5 units, 6. That's not going to do enough. So I think we maybe encourage him out. So what's his army look like? A lot of nobodies. Our MG isn't great, though. That's going to give us back 50% of our movement, so we're going to get back up to, what, 75, I think? Oh, wow, that's like all of our movement there. And now we're taking attrition. Okay, that was not the play. That was not lay play. But then I guess next time we get back here, we can encamp now and then try and get here next turn. Like next turn, we still wouldn't be back there. So we kind of almost are forced into forced marching.
Long road ahead.
And just get here, take attrition, whatever. We have a morale buff here, right? We have a, what, 30% morale buff or whatever it is. Yeah, which is really good. He just came and raided the Valley of the Kings, which is really good. Because now we can do this. Again, we're taking attrition, but he's also taking attrition. He's not actually taking attrition. Wow, okay. Well, okay, now we can just head down here.
Follow my direction.
We can heal up, right? We can combine up here. We can fortify. We're going to ambush, maybe? He's going to come up here. Yeah, he did raid this, which sucks, but it is what it is. We've also got a gold production being built over here. No, over... Yeah, gold production being built over here. And I think I want to try and upgrade... this, so we can upgrade this to tier 3 later on down the line. Tier 2, we can also focus on buildings that will bump that up as well. So we can use our faction specific abilities to boost this up, reduce happiness, but that's fine. And then we also have the a building over here that also produces stone. It's like so good. Stone and then tons of food. Obviously, bronze is elite units, but who needs elite units when you're just pumping that out? And okay, I think that's where we're going to wrap up this episode. Our barter ran out, which is fine. We're losing a lot of food. I don't care. That's been raided, which sucks, but it'll be the end of the world. All our buildings are upgrading, which is fine. We've got a good battle set up for next episode. And yeah, cool. I'm going to go wrap up this, this part. Let me know what you guys thought of it down below in the comments. Obviously, subscribe if you're interested in more Total War content in general. It's one of the best ways, not necessarily just Total War Pharaohs. If you're just interested in more content, more fun strategy games, and this is the place to be. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment down below. Regardless, you know, if you like Pharaohs or dislike Pharaohs, I still appreciate the support on my opinions and my honest opinions, giving it to you guys straight, which I kind of strived myself to do during this. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If I like something, I'll say I like it. If I dislike it, I dislike it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and fish out.